Okay, welcome back. So I got the four corners done and a couple of things came up. First thing is I've never had an errant chip. And when I crank the handles, I try to stay as straight up as I can. You want to avoid, getting down into the work. So I got a chip, a nice C-shaped one, right up into my nostril, and it had the heat in it, and it hooked in. So I had to dig it out. That's the first time I've ever had an issue with a chip. Years ago, I had a end mill break, and I got a little chunk just above my safety glasses. And I'll be truthful, I don't wear safety glasses all the time because I wear spectacles, and I have a problem with safety glasses. They destroy my peripheral vision. It's just very difficult, so I use shields and other methods to protect myself when I can. When I'm just cranking handles, I put the safety glasses on because I don't have to see really closely. Matter of fact, one of my past lives, I was an infantryman. They could not make me safety glasses, shooting glasses that would work. I deployed to Afghanistan as an infantryman, and the only eye pro I wore were my spectacles. It was kind of like a waiver that even the sergeant major was aware of. Everybody else got yelled at if they didn't wear their shooting glasses, but they usually didn't have a spectacle on also. So I also had to carry my goggles around with me, so if things got real hectic, then I'd have to put the goggles over the spectacles. Anyhow, one day I'm going to I'll make a video about my past lives. Some people find them interesting. Okay, so now that we're done, we're getting ready to do the flip. But remember, we shifted to make it easier to cut the flats. We have to shift back before we do anything else. And another thing that had come up is that the side with the set screw is my hardest side to get a good reading with the square. So I don't know if, I didn't think I was that tight, but we're possibly getting distortion from the set screw. And I just screwed up again. I loosened this up before I squared the square to the part. So, that's okay. So the workaround. The easiest workaround, quill up. Tool over the part. Square the part to the tool. Again, you are ginger with the tool because you don't want to damage the tool. Okay, so right there, I cannot rotate the part in any way. I'm comfortable with that square for this type of work. If it was more accurate, I'd have to indicate it or use something else. And some of you guys might be saying, hey, why aren't you doing it this way? I just thought of it. So anyways, put the square on this side. And we'll just confirm. And it is square. Okay. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. There's another hint that my past lives. Okay, so let's get this so we can do it easy. Square the two together. Tighten up the rose indexer. I guess not too much. Now actually, this is what I mentioned earlier, being that the part is so long, I need to shift it as far back as I can comfortably. Okay, you can double check with the background. This does work really well. So swing by industrial plastic supply, get a strip of Teflon, one that's thick enough that won't curl up on you, and they make an excellent background. Again, especially on the grinder. You won't be cranking down to your touch off 5,000 times. You can watch it with the background. Okay, so now move the stop out of the way. I've got to put anti-seize on that guy. It worked perfect for years, and lately it must have got some coolant in it or something, corroded up. Okay, so get away from that cutter. So what I'm trying to do is we're about 20 inches from the cut face to the rose indexer. We need to emulate the same thing at the other end. So vices are loose, just slide the material down. Square it up. Again, it's tedious. Another option, and it wasn't available on this because they wanted a straight cut here. If they didn't mind a dished out cut, which I believe is a stronger end, you side mill and it leaves you a radius, and it also makes it easier to put the chamfer on, and you do two sides at the same rotation, so that saves at least half of the rose indexing Olympics. Okay, so now we got to shift the rose indexer back down this way. So that highlighted that there's daylight at the bottom. Another thing I thought about doing is making a clamp that would hold the base of the square down so that when I squeeze, I'm not taking the chance of lifting it. There's a little bit of daylight at the bottom. I can really feel it moving when I try to tighten it up. And I move it a little bit. Maybe there's a previous, well, it shouldn't be a previous divot from the set screw. Now, I had loaned this out, and the original set screw came up missing, which had a nice brass tip on it, which I have not replaced properly. So I have a regular set screw, and it's wanting to just shift the part, shift the indexer when it contacts the workpiece. Okay, so that's good. Yep. So to take a quick measurement, see where we're at. So we're 28. We gotta do it one more time. Okay, this is already locked down. The vise was locked down. Do it. Slide down once again. This time, we know 20-inch put us in a good spot. So I always keep one of these little tapes in my pocket, and they are super handy. I always keep a Sharpie in my pocket and a pen. I love these pants. I got 10 pairs of them. I got phone holder, pen holder, deep pockets. Okay. So we're going to set up around that. So we have to re-square first. Get on the tangent. Lock the vise. Double check. He's good. Come down. Reposition the rose indexer for the last time. Okay, it's got a good bite right now. Try this. It wants to pull at the bottom. So again, just being tedious, being a project. What else would I do in my life? It's kind of fun. Last weekend, I didn't do a video, but I did some work on a race car transmission, just some internal parts. They're going to add some Torrington bearings. They bought a kit from some company. Kit had all the information. The parts sucked. Looked like they used a chainsaw to counter bore for the bearing. So the customer bought a fresh piece, brought it in, and on the hard hinge, I reverse engineered what they were doing with the dimensions and that, and came out great. The hard hinge is great. Beautiful cuts, nice and smooth. Even got a complimentary email or text message from the customer when he went to put it together, how nice it was. How he's gonna throw away the other one that he got. So that's good to know. You know, you get stuff like this. This is like heavier work, you know, rougher work, but sometimes it's nicer stuff. At work, it's usually nicer stuff. It's aerospace stuff. You know, usually 5 thousandths tolerance and under. Lots of times they try to give me, you know, tenths to do on 40-year-old manual machines. I'm getting better with all that. Matter of fact, this beats me up. I was 20 thousandths off. Well, on this rough work, that was nothing. Okay, so we're ready to flip. So lay this down so I don't knock it off. Okay, it's a little hefty. Being careful not to bump the rose indexer. Like that. Gotta re-grip. Check for chips since I got a nice angle. Okay. Okay, like I had said, if I had more table, if my other mill was up and running, this would be a lot easier because it's a 54-inch table. Then I'd have that luxury of keeping the rose index in one position. But I don't have that. And this guy has been a workhorse. I wouldn't get anything done if I didn't have this. It's taken me forever to put the other mill together. If anybody's in Phoenix, Arizona area and is good with working on machines, I could really use some help. It's not a lot of hard work, but a little bit of gib work, just touching them up and then putting together, you know, mostly an extra hand. So, did I go too far? Let's see how we ended up. So we do have to clean this up. Okay, so I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I got just enough room there. This doesn't necessarily have to be exact because I'm just going to do the facing cut, but might as well do it just in case I forget and skip a step. Okay. Lock these guys down. Get this back out of the way. Now the one thing with this end mill holder is there's no stick out. So we'll see how that goes. What I might have to do is I might have to cheat. Being that I'm taking so much off of the flats, I don't have to clean up down here because I'm going to end up lopping that off anyways. So I think that's what I'll do, is we'll do a simple compromise. Okay. Okay. So we'll get as much as we can. We got a lot more we can go down. Okay. That'll work out fine. There'll be just a touch left there. Okay, we'll get that going again. RPM down a little bit, go into a touch. Matter of fact, I'm sticking my face down there like I just said not to do. I don't need to. On this, all I gotta do is touch it. Now there's different methods you can do too. You can use a piece of paper and it'll suck the paper in when it touches it, and that puts you around 4 thousandths off. Okay, you can hear I touched. This rag really does make a difference. I was really beating up my hands the other day doing that first one. Because again, with the weight hanging off, the table shifted so far. There's a lot of torque required, a lot more. It is also harder on the machine. It's asking more from the gibs. So you don't want to do 1,000 of these things. unless you're willing to scrap your machine over it. They do wear out to a point. So again, at the table set to 0. So I am skipping a step. I didn't set the stop yet, but this won't change. So since I already started this process, I'll continue it. Lock the quill, lower the table, cut her off. And I'm going to go to, my final number is 290, but I'm a little gun shy now because of what I ran into before. So I'm going to do 270. 1, 2, again, I'm talking. I'm double checking because the time you don't check is the time that you ended up going an extra 100 thou. Okay, up 270. 1, 2. That's 270. Disengage the handle, let it hang. Okay. Everything's a project. So we are very close. I am going to take this gamble. So I didn't back off the workpiece. I did set the stop to it. And again, there's enough within the tolerance. Okay, so you've already seen all this stuff before. So we'll finish this end up and then we'll come back.